Back to our Home Helpers segment. We're answering your home improvement questions, and the experts are here from Springer Professional Home Services. We have Eric Wolvers, Tony Vandical. Thank you guys so much for coming in. We appreciate
Good morning.
it.
Thank you. Good morning.
And you're kings of the throne this morning.
Yeah. Helping people out a little bit with a leaky toilet. We know a lot of people run into this on occasion. Not a big thing. Wanted to kind of show them how to do it at home. It's not that big of a project is what a lot of people think it is, and it's a lot better than hiring a plumber. $400 or $500 to come over when you may only have $5 to $10 in parts. So got Tony here to kind of show you how to redo a wax ring if it's leaking out the bottom. This will actually rot out your subflooring. You can see it. It's just a pain, and you can have a lot of problems in the future. So
okay, take it away.
Okay. First of all, you're just going to remove the caps off of the side, undo the nuts that are holding the toilet to the floor. Go ahead and actually remove the bowl.
The big thing. Shut off your water.
Yeah, shut off your water.
Let the water shut off. You want to get all that actual water out of the bowl, so flush it when the water is off. You may want to put a sponge inside of there to soak up all that water. Get as much of it as possible, but you're going to want to put 2 to 3 towels around it. There's still going to be some excess no matter what you do. So.
And clean it before you start.
Yeah.
Right?
Recommend that. That's your own thing if you want to.
So then go ahead and get a different, get a new wax ring. That's the most important. Try not to reuse the old one. Go ahead and make sure all the wax is off the ring. Inspect the flange, make sure it's not cracked or broken.
Okay.
Make sure it's secured to the floor properly. If it's loose, you'll need to make sure that's attached.
If it's broken, get a new one?
Yeah, they actually sell replacement flanges that screw onto your existing one to help repair that.
Oh, that's great.
So that'll eliminate a lot of headaches too. Go ahead and put the wax ring
back inside. It just sets right in there?
Yep,
okay.
yep.
And the old one, you're probably just going to take a putty knife. It'll scrape right out of there. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I mean, this is probably a 30-minute project to do it yourself at home.
And you can just pitch that one. No special.
Exactly, just a little plastic bag or something, and use a putty knife. Get the old out.
And you'll see that as it sets on there, it's raised up off the floor. So what you want to do is put your body weight on the toilet.
Okay.
Either sit on it or put your knee on the lid and actually put as much weight down on it as you can. Wiggle it back and forth until it seats to the floor.
Sure. You should expect that. It's not. It's not going to be a bad thing if it's
not that it's oversized, and the wax will actually move to form to fill those voids if you've got a different
seal,
raise.
right?
Exactly.
So it doesn't leak anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another area that the toilets often leak is the spud gasket on the bottom here.
And that's that black rubber ring right there? Okay.
And that'll just set down in there. And what you want to make sure to do is not over-tighten this, because you can crack the porcelain and then you'll create another leak also. But make sure that you use even pressure to tighten the tank down. If you've got it tightened too far one way, it can leak out that way also. Okay. So that's one thing to watch out for. And then your supply line just secures to the back. That's another area that can be leaking. I mean, a lot of people see water on the floor and they just automatically assume it's the toilet, but there's a couple different areas on the water closet to check to make sure it's not leaking.
And in some old ones, what I found actually on one of my houses was that the flapper wasn't going all the way down and it just kept circulating water through there, or you're getting cold water from the ground, so it would make the tank sweat and you'd have a drip constant on that. So a $5 flapper was all that it was, and I thought it was a bad toilet. So little stuff like that, just kind of going through and checking it. And what he was saying on tightening these, you want to tighten them one at a time. A lot of people, or not one at a time, everybody wants to tighten them as hard as they can on one and then go to the next.
Sure.
Kind of get them finger tight on all of them and then work around slowly so it's not bringing one side down further than the other.
Okay, we have a caller on the line with a question. Winona, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. What's your question?
Our toilet leaks, doesn't leak. It runs every little bit, about every hour on the hour. He put a new piece on it yesterday, but it's still doing that. So what can be done?
The flapper that you were mentioning, that's...
Yes.
The flapper is what it sounds like it is, but it could be something with, if you take this off here, Tony. This part right here, if it's bad, if it's not lifting up all the way, there's an actual shut-off switch right here, that white part right there. So your float needs to go up high enough to shut that off. So it could be something in this here. It's about $20 to get a new part there and a new flapper. So
well, he put a new flapper on.
You put a new flapper on, and then you want to look at getting this part as well, right? Is that
exactly.
What you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, if this isn't coming all the way up with the actual float to shut it off, could be another issue if it just keeps running. But the flapper is what it sounds like if it's doing it about every half hour coming back on, that the water's leaking out, so it's refilling. So
Okay.
I'd really make sure you get a good
Double check
flapper.
the flapper and then look into getting that other part.
Exactly.
And check that out. And the instructions are usually with these parts?
Exactly. If you buy a kit, it'll tell you exactly step by step how to turn it off, how to hook it up, everything else.
All right, guys, much easier than I thought it
Yeah.
would be. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Well, if we didn't get to your call, you can always reach Eric and Tony and all of the experts at Springer Professional Home Services at the number there on your screen, 262-9226. Outdoor Stand is up next.